Onward now with Greater LA on KCRW. I'm Steve Giatakis. Last month, KCRW's Young Creators Project found 5 talented musicians and songwriters that had their work presented on Morning Becomes Eclectic, our flagship music show. Well, April was National Poetry Month, and after dozens of submissions, KCRW found 5 talented young poets and storytellers. Yesterday, we heard from Jillian Chamberlain. Today, we're going to hear from another young creator. Her name is Salome Agbaroji. She's 16 years old. She's a junior at Gar High School in Artesia. And Salome likes to perform her poetry live. Back in December, she was the youngest ever participant and a winner at the Ill List Poetry Slam. She was also part of the Get Lit team that won 2nd place in the Brave New Voices Slam. And now here's Salome Agbaroji reading from her poem called Pretty Places of LA.
I've been to places pretty places like Beverly Hills, where mimosas and liquid diamonds crash on the shoreline. These beach dwellers collect inner city properties like seashells and trade real estate like spades cards. These places pretty enough for screen time on your television. Pretty much the poster child of Los Angeles and the epitome of daddy's money. Yeah, I've been to places pretty. Places like Hollywood and its Walk of Fame. If Dorothy's ruby slippers were red bottoms, she'd be trotting this white gold road feeling oh so ostentatious, feeling higher than their class, higher than their all-glass renovated high-rise buildings, higher than their credit scores and their high-rise Lululemon leggings. Oh, but I bet you've never been to the lowlands of Los Angeles. You know, the dark basement that the brochures don't show, where no one knows a Dorothy. But Dominique, in her uncreased low-rise dunks, is always found walking where drugged corners intersect at broke lanes. The same place where Obine, the Nigerian art collector, sells an Afro Mona Lisa on the curb for $50. Starved entrepreneurship. Reparations in our own hands. The corner man whistles tunes only sufferers know. Place ear to pavement here. Queen Khalifa's war cries. The clatter of tumbleweeded dye rolled about 2 blocks down. Soft-spoken escape routes never received. The color of marigold by girl eating mangonadas for her foreverth time. The subtle rumble of white Porsches approaching from the hillside. Gentry is coming. A cavalry on credit-drawn carriages coming to make the place pretty. I'd hoped the sound had been the coming of Jesus finally, so the painting of Black Messiah in Obine's art shop made more sense, made more than sense finally, because this living is protest. This is the heart of LA that beats and weeps all the same, but investors bleach its arteries with beige colors and caramel fraps. See street markets where Black women sell incense and head wraps and market. Perfect location to reinvent hot yoga or to build a bank that would deny those same Black women loans. This is what you call pretty. Yeah, pretty shines like heirloom pearls, not pretty like glimmer of grills in teeth. No, pretty like veneers and messy bun. Not pretty like barrettes on little Black girls, or street tacos, or graffiti done by people far too talented for their circumstance, or broken glass, or the unironic musicality of barbershops. Definitely not like that sweet little old lady with only 6 teeth but still smiled at me anyway like I was her own granddaughter. Nah, that ain't pretty. But I've been to places pretty. And I can assure you, those pretty places have got nothing on the heart of this city.
That's 16-year-old poet Salome Agbaroji reading from her poem, Pretty Places of LA. And Salome is with us right now. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for doing this.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
What is it about the poetry slam that gets you so excited and what you like about it so much?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not that much of a slam girl because I actually got into poetry around 2020 and everything was shut down. But in December when I did the Illest Slam, that was one of my first opportunities to be in front of a live audience and feed off of their energy, see how they react to the words I had like painstakingly written in my bedroom, you know, with all my passion and emotions. So it was a very good experience. And I think all poets that perform live can attest to the fact that poetry is such a living thing. Just as we are, it reflects us. So when we see it come to life on a stage, it just adds a whole new layer to the words and the meaning.
Tell us a little bit about the poem that you submitted to KCRW's Young Creators Project. This is called Pretty Places of LA. I mean, what was the initial, I don't know, the initial inspiration behind it?
Yeah, the initial inspiration is actually a story I really love to tell. My sister and I, we love to go on drives just as a way to release stress and to hang out, have fun. And one of our drives led us to Leimert Park, which is one of the most magical places in LA I've been, because, you know, I'm from here and I've been all over, but Leimert Park was just a place where Black and brown communities were really like embracing themselves. I saw incense and African art and Black and brown food. I saw Hispanic communities, and it showed me that when we think of LA, those are the communities that are not represented. We think of Beverly Hills, we think of palm trees and, you know, high-rise buildings and things like that. But the most welcoming and homely feeling for me, especially as a Nigerian, I'm first generation Nigerian, seeing my culture and cultures of other different people being represented in the tight-knit, such family-oriented spaces was so beautiful to me. And I just had to write a poem about it, because the people that made me feel so at home and made me feel so celebrated deserve just as much as a platform as the high-rise buildings and the LA beaches.
What do you want to do, Salome, when you're done with high school? And I mean, I'm assuming going to college, I'm assuming, you know, higher education, but I mean, what's next for you? What do you want to do?
I would say teenagers have a lot of pressure to know what we want to do, and I'm trying to embrace the process and take things as they come. I never planned when I was in elementary school that in high school I'd be a poet, but here we are. But I can say for sure that my career will have a positive impact on communities that need advocacy and need equity to be brought to them, that need a voice given to them. It will definitely maintain my art, whether that's in a poetic form or a music lyric or a speech that I'm giving. Art will always follow me through my journey. But yeah, definitely my art will stay with me, and advocacy will be a huge part of it.
Something tells me, Salome, that whatever you choose, you're going to crush it. So,
thank you.
Yeah. Your words are inspirational, and thank you for entering and competing and being one of our young poets here at KCRW. Salome Agbaroji, poet. She joined us as part of our Young Creators Project. You can read her poem, by the way, at our website, kcrw.com/greaterla. Salome, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.